What comes to mind when you think of World War II? Is it Pearl Harbor, D-Day, the Holocaust, maybe? I bet the first thing in your mind was not the Pacific Theater, or more specifically, Eastern Asian on Eastern Asian war crimes. We don't learn about it typically, and I would like to take the time to inform you about the massacre in Nanjing, China. The massacre in Nanjing was committed by the Japanese in 1937. Building up to this massacre, Japan had a flourishing economy until 1920, when their economy collapsed, as much of the world's economies did. The US was in the Great Depression. This was going on globally following the events of World War I. As their economy collapsed, that meant that the factories were idle. They were not producing their normal exports, and military and government became synonymous in Japan. And with this new influence of militarianism, there was a lot of growing tension between them and their competitors. And because the military was such a forefront of the Japanese government, what's the best way to get rid of competition? Eliminating them. I'm not showing pictures of the massacre because most of the pictures and evidence do not exist anymore. They've all been destroyed or tried to be swept under the rug as much as possible. There was definitely evidence of this horrific event, but it's just a map. I'm not going to show you everything. The massacre in Nanjing, China is also referred to as the Rape of Nanjing, or the Romanized version, Nanking. During this massacre, 150,000 war prisoners, Chinese war prisoners, were murdered, along with another 50,000 male civilians. And on top of all of these deaths, 20,000 women and children were sexually assaulted or mutilated. Terrible, terrible proportions, completely decimated the city. And again, this just is not talked about. So the aftermath, of course, the Chinese remember this as a travesty, and you can see over here there is a memorial site for 300,000 people that were injured or killed in Nanjing. The general that led this attack was Iwane Matsui, and he's pictured right here. He was convicted of his crimes and executed, but the Imperial Japanese Prince was not. He was granted immunity. And because of this, a lot of Chinese people, even today, feel as though they have not received proper reparations for this event. Monetary reparations have been paid to the victims and their families that were affected in this massacre, but it is a very sensitive topic. It's kept very quiet, and again, most, if not all, of the evidence has been destroyed. The Japanese government does not like this topic, very similar to how the Chinese government does not like to talk about the Tiananmen Square incident. So, again, the purpose of this speech was to inform about this historic event that I feel most people do not know about, and I think that more people should know about it. The buildup, the occurrence, and the aftermath of this atrocity. And it's just a very stark difference between how Japan has lightly acknowledged their war crimes versus Germany, and how they have been kept accountable for almost the last century for their crimes committed.